Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us at today's commencement exercises. I would ask that you please rise and join me in welcoming the graduates of the class of 2017.
Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the playing of the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Audience members may be seated.
Good afternoon. My name is Tabitha Earls, and as president of the class of 2018, I would like to welcome you to the commencement exercises for the North Brookfield High School class of 2017. Emma Schultz, the junior class vice president, and I will serve as your hosts for today's exercises. During today's ceremony, we will hear from some honored guests as well as several graduates. Our first speaker is the president and fourth-ranked scholar of the class of 2017. Please join me in welcoming Miss Caitlin Burnham.
John Lennon sang in his song Imagine, "You may say I'm a dreamer, but I am not the only one." I have learned the true meaning of this lyric as I grew and began to consider what I may want to do for the rest of my life. On a craft project I did in preschool, I wrote, "I, Caitlin Burnham, wish to be a princess." As a 4-year-old, this was the only logical career path for me, and I strived to live in a castle with Cinderella, Belle, and Snow White. Then, after spending holidays and vacations at my cousin's dairy farm, I reevaluated my life ambitions and decided I wanted to be a dairy farmer and have my own operation. I loved the fresh air and working outside with all the cows. However, after finding out dairy farmers don't get much of a vacation time, I considered the idea of being a vet because of my love for animals, or even a professional goalkeeper. Later on, my mind changed again, and I knew I wanted to become a pilot. I was going to start my own business and give people plane rides up in Maine at the Acadia State Park. Then when I entered high school, I knew I needed to stop dreaming and become realistic. College was coming up, and I needed to decide on what I wanted to do with my life, something that would pay the bills. I knew working in information technology provided a steady income, so I started looking into tech colleges. Despite this, deep down inside, I knew my realistic option wasn't exactly what I wanted to do with my life. Programming computers wasn't my passion, and money isn't everything. Younger me knew college decisions were coming up, but I needed more dreaming and discovering to determine what my purpose is in this world. My first job that I started just a few years ago was working at a garden. I weeded, picked berries, harvested vegetables, and worked farmers markets, all for $5 an hour. Although it was low pay, I absolutely loved going to work, getting my hands dirty, and breathing the fresh air. I later moved on to work at an apple orchard, and this job was even better. I've learned so much and put in so much time into this field of work that my boss actually comes to me asking what we should do. I have found my passion and will be majoring in sustainable horticulture in the fall. But there are days where I wonder if I am making the right decision, and that's okay. I'm sure there are many people sitting on the stage or in the audience, young and old, unsure of what they want to be when they grow up. Life is full of choices, and we are all authors of our own stories. I hope you all decide to do what makes you happy from here on out. Whether or not you are continuing your education at a 4-year college, a community college, going straight into the workforce, taking a gap year or two, or taking time to just travel the world. It's up to you and only you. Don't do or become something you're not because somebody else has an opinion. Do what you love, and I guarantee your life will be that much more enjoyable. Break barriers, destroy stigma, and make people envy the lifestyle and joy you have. Class of 2017, we made it through the easy part. We have been guided and instructed on what to do our whole lives. We have had mentors, advisors, teachers, counselors, and principals to help point us in the right direction. Now the harder part. We are all becoming adults with only diplomas in our hands. Remember to follow your dreams because they are the key to your happiness. Others might say that you're a dreamer, but you're not the only one. I wish you all the best wherever life takes you. Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin. Our next speaker is the third-ranked student in the class of 2017. Please welcome Ms. Rachel Orsi.
Growing up, I've always wanted to move on to bigger and better things, and in 7th grade, I thought I did. I had spent the summer in between 6th and 7th grade researching schools and ultimately applying and transferring into Quabbin. North Brookfield was in the process of losing its arts programs, and I wanted to continue playing in the band. My first day, I almost missed the bus, and when I arrived, it was like living in a whole other world. I only knew about 5 people in my class of over 200, and I lasted through the first half of the school year. I transferred back to North Brookfield, and never have I looked back and wish I stayed at Quabbin. See, what had originally turned me away from continuing my education in North Brookfield, other than losing its arts programs, was that it had placed a stigma over our class, labeling us the bad class. We had fought so much during lunches that we were only allowed to sit 4 students to a table. We also had a few classmates that were innovative enough to engineer a mechanical pencil to shoot needles. After that, we weren't able to bring pencils to class, and everyone thought we weren't going to amount to a lot. But I'd like to take a few moments to recognize my fellow classmates and their dedication to not only our school, but also their own futures. Within our small class of 32, we have 21 student athletes, 11 WCAC All-Stars, and 7 students that played 3 sports. We have 5 student council members, 5 NHS members, a Rainbow Girl. We also have 21 honor students. As a whole, our class was accepted to over 30 colleges, and we will be representing North Brookfield at prestigious colleges such as Pennsylvania State, the University of Massachusetts Amherst, Merrimack College, and the University of New Hampshire. We also currently have one student already enlisted in our United States Navy. She will be shipping off at the end of June. Congratulations, Alexis Schofield. We wish you the best of luck. Along with Alexis, David Rumpf will also be enlisting into our United States Army after he finished schooling at Penn State. Five of my classmates will also be continuing on the education track and plan to become teachers. And we've also had 2 dual enrollment students finish their high school career and already start their college education through Mount Wachusett Community College. And one of these students made the dean list for the spring semester. Congrats, Kate Burnham. Within our small class, we have future doctors, psychologists, teachers, CEOs, veterinarians, military officers, artists, video game designers, horticulturalists, forensic scientists, pilots, police officers, and in its entirety, 32 extremely driven people. In my opinion, this group isn't made up of bad students or people. Rather, they have challenged any opposing views to their chance of individuality and imagination, and do it not only to better themselves, but also those around them. When I switched schools, I thought I was moving on for the better, that another school community could offer me more, and that I took out of North Brookfield as much as I could. But what I hadn't realized was that North Brookfield had everything I was looking for, and I just didn't see it. I wish the class of 2017 the best of luck in everything life brings you. I hope you break any mold society creates, and in the words of William Evans, don't forget to be awesome.
Thank you, Rachel. Our next speaker is the 2017 class Salutatorian. Please join me in welcoming the number 2 ranked student, Miss Tori Zalaskis.
Good afternoon. I'd like to start off by saying thank you. Thank you to all of our teachers, staff members, friends, and most importantly, our parents. Thank you for your endless support as we embark on this new exciting journey. Well, this is it, the moment we've all been waiting for. The class of 2017 is graduating. It's truly crazy how fast time flies. I swear last year I was only like an 8th grader, finally stepping up, but no, that's going to be my little sister in a week. Let us take this time to briefly reflect upon the past. This class has been through a lot together, from 6th grade barbecue to step up to camping in tents on the class trip this year. Some of us have become close, while others have drifted apart.
Regardless, we all share one common goal: to leave this school and move on. But as much as I've looked forward to this day, I personally don't like endings. I'm scared to be saying goodbye to this little community we call home. I believe that we are ready. Our class is ready to set new goals and dream new dreams. There is pride in our eyes and hope in our hearts. My wish for you, graduates, is that you keep this sense of pride and hope with you on your next journey, whether it's college, the Navy, or even taking a break from schooling. Keep the same optimism you have today. Don't be scared of what the future holds. As Eleanor Roosevelt once said, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Thank you for everything. Good luck, guys.
Thank you, Tori. Our final student speaker is the valedictorian of the North Brookfield High School class of 2017. Please welcome Miss Amelia Jordan.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure to stand beside these young men and women and share the stage today to celebrate our enormous accomplishment. All of you on this stage should be extremely proud of yourselves. Today is a day that you will remember forever. I would like to take a moment to thank my fellow class officers, Caitlin Burnham, Megan Jolin, and Rachel Orsi, as well as our class advisors, Mrs. Murray and Miss Malone. The amount of time and effort they put into this class is what kept us running and brought us here today. No amount of words can express my gratitude to you all for making my years here as great as they were. All I can say is thank you. This year was an incredible ride, one that had its moments of sadness, but in the end has brought me here, and I am incredibly thankful for it. I attended Mount Wachusett Community College as part of the dual enrollment program to get a jump start on a degree. I was excited, and I knew that if I put my mind to it, that I would be successful. My first semester started like any other school year, and I had no problems keeping up with the pace or workload. However, in the month of October, my brother Dylan was in a serious car accident that put him in the hospital for what seemed like forever. I saw my grades slip, and I felt as though I couldn't get my life under control. I felt extremely overwhelmed. I had this feeling that things wouldn't get better, that I'd let everything fall out of reach. However, as time went by, I saw my brother hitting milestones that we worried he may not make, and he was doing them faster and faster. I spent time with him in rehab playing board games and Uno, which he changed the rules just a little so he'd win, but I let him do it anyway. Both sides of my family, who hadn't really talked for years, came together to support him in his recovery, which was incredible to watch. I spent a lot of time thinking and realized all the things that I took for granted in life. My brother, my family, my health, my friends. I realized I rarely took the time to appreciate the people who supported me through everything, even my failures. I read a book by Elizabeth Strout titled Olive Kittredge in my English class this semester, and I came across a quote that really stuck with me. Olive, the main character, had taken her life for granted, never truly appreciating what she had until it was gone. And in a sort of flashback, she remembered a day when her husband and her were holding hands while walking home from their son's soccer game. The quote at that moment was, "Had they known at these moments to be quietly joyful? Most likely not. People mostly did not know enough when they were living life that they were living it." This resonated with me because I had realized how little I had appreciated or noticed the simple things. You need to enjoy life for what it is. Little moments can make the best memories. I think back to those times playing Uno with Dylan in the rehab center when he would place a green 8 on top of a yellow 7 and call it fair. I think back to the last-minute lip-sync practices and banner making. I think back to the late-night fires with just my best friend and me. These things are the memories that I will look back on and smile, yet they seem so small at the time. This is what I want to tell all of you here today. Appreciate everything, no matter how small. You never know when things could change, and you'll look back on those things fondly, wishing you had recognized the significance of those moments at the time. In college, and I know this from experience, you will get caught up in all the things you feel are life and death. I have homework due at midnight. I have a test in 2 days. Oh my God, the freshman 15 is real. And for those not attending college in the fall, you may get lost in a job, feeling like you're stuck in a loop of work, sleep, repeat. But I tell you now, stop. Stop to look at all the things that make you happy and keep you going. This can put things in perspective and make life feel a little less claustrophobic. So thank you to my family and my dad for being so supportive and giving me such an open mind. Thank you to my mom and Jen for working so hard to give me all the things I have and calling me out sometimes when I need it. Thank you to Dylan for inspiring the speech and being the older brother that sometimes I didn't want, but glad I have. Thank you to Caitlin for being my best friend since elementary school and dealing with me for so long. I hope that we can have our bonds long enough to be bingo buddies. And finally, thank you to this class, the class of 2017, for being my friends and peers. Congratulations to all of you. I'm so proud of you all. Please do not forget to live your life quietly joyful. Thank you.
And now to offer congratulatory remarks, please welcome the principal of North Brookfield Senior High School, Mr. William Evans.
Good afternoon, and thank you for being here this afternoon. Before I begin, I would ask that anyone in the entire facility who has served, is currently serving, or intends to serve in our nation's armed forces, please stand and be recognized now. We thank you for your service to our country. If it takes a village to raise a child, it can sometimes take a small city to get them to graduate. I would like to acknowledge some of the people in our small city that helped make all of this happen today, starting with our custodial crew for preparing this space and the grounds and keeping them maintained all year round. I'd like to thank Jake Anderson and Corey McIntosh for running the sound, video, and lights today and throughout all of our end-of-year events. They're assisted ably today by a small squadron of underclassmen. Thank you, gentlemen. I'd like to thank our tech coordinator, Cindy O'Hara, our guidance counselor, Mr. Dave Hackinson. A lot of you guys wouldn't have made it without Hack bugging you. Our superintendent of schools, Dr. Marilyn Tenza, and the staff of the North Brookfield School District. On Friday, before the Class Day ceremony, we paraded the graduates through the elementary school. It was really wonderful to see all the kids and teachers out in the hall saluting the graduates. And at one point, Leslie Murray turned to me and said, you know, a lot of these teachers had these kids, when they were in elementary school, which is pretty amazing. So if you are employed in any capacity by the North Brookfield School District, I would ask that you please stand now and be recognized. I'd also like to thank Caitlin Malone and Leslie Murray, the co-advisors of the class of 2017. What starts out as helping with some fundraisers in the early years gets pretty involved by senior year. Caitlin and Leslie have done a phenomenal job in ushering this class to this point. Unfortunately, Ms. Murray was unable to attend today's ceremony, but Caitlin, if you could stand to be recognized. And my final thank you is to the school secretary, Allison Bulger. In addition to running the front desk of the school every day, Allison is responsible for just about everything associated with today's ceremony, from the programs in your hands, the tickets, the awards and scholarships, the diplomas, you name it, she probably had a hand in making sure it was done. There's always a lot of work, and I thank you, Allison, for doing it all and doing it with your customary grace and poise. If you would please stand. So before I get to my remarks, we have some unfinished business to take care of. This is the It's Your Day hat, or crown, excuse me, and the scepter is up here. But during the school year, every senior gets their day, and they get to sign the hat, and they get to wear it, and they get a scepter that's up here, and they get to have their day. But some of our students, either because they were in dual enrollment or for whatever other reason they went on an internship early, they didn't get to sign the hat and have their day. So I'm going to pass this around. So during my speech, those of you who didn't get to sign it, if you could sign it. There's a little Sharpie here as well. And then just get it back to me. So I think... All right, so just try to make sure it gets to everybody. And then if the last person should bring it right on up. Don't worry that I'm already speaking. I don't mind. At one of the rehearsals earlier this week, Caitlin Burnham and I were discussing the fact that as class president, she had to give 2 speeches, one on class day and another one today. And I could see right away the little thought bubble that appeared over her head. 2 speeches? 2 different speeches? And I said, it's okay. Make the class day speech about looking back and the graduation speech about looking forward. And not for nothing, but you knocked them both out of the park, Caitlin, and Rachel, Tori, and Amelia, all of you did a great job. Although, Rachel, that last line was not in your early draft. I just want to... this brings me to my speech. I try to follow 2 basic tenets with my graduation speeches. 1 is to look forward, and 2 is to keep it positive. And I got to tell you, this time around, I really struggled with being able to do both. I have so many concerns about the world that you guys are entering that it is hard to think about it all and to also stay positive. We have some big problems, global problems, national problems, problems that require complex and cooperative solutions. But since we can't seem to hear each other's voices, we never seem to get to any real lasting solutions. You force your solution on me, then next chance I get, I force my solution on you, and while we're using my solution, you spend all your time screaming about how terrible it is, and when your solution is being used, I scream about how terrible that is, and we go back and forth and around and around. So you see my dilemma, how to talk about the world we're sending you into and stay positive at the same time. And then I recalled a very simple but tried and true adage that the solutions to our biggest problems always start locally. If we start to take on the world's problems, the best place to start is with ourselves. And I have 3 pieces of advice for you as you head out there. You the last one? All right. So, Adrian, this is the class list of the juniors. If you could use this highlighter to pick the next person. That's part of the ritual, is whoever the person of the day is has to pick the next person.
Oh, I know.
Okay, don't say anything.
No, I won't.
It's a secret. Give us a moment here.
So just like the
Yeah,
whole,
no, just highlight their name. Yeah, good.
I got.
All right, excellent job.
No, that's. Damn. That wasn't the one I wanted.
I think you meant darn.
I got.
Okay. Give him one simple job. All right, so I have 3 pieces of advice. The first one is use your face to communicate. The human face is an amazing communication tool. Without uttering a single syllable, the human face can communicate joy, anger, sadness, confusion, every emotion that we have, and all that with incredible degrees of variation. The face is so good at communicating, it's a wonder we use anything else at all. And of course, words are helpful, but words expressed from one face to another face are capable of so much more than when they exist on paper or on a screen. I mentioned earlier that Miss Murray was unable to attend today's ceremony, so on Thursday, as we were wrapping up our last rehearsal, she stood over there at center stage and to offer a farewell to the students she has known for so many years, some of them as far back as 5th grade. Needless to say, there was no way she was going to get through that speech. Maybe 4 or 5 sentences in, and she started to sort of lose it. But without hesitation, David, over here, jumped out of his chair, knocked over a water bottle, almost knocked over Cam, and came down and gave her a big hug. Yeah. Which instantly became the biggest group hug a graduation rehearsal ever saw. It was truly a wonderful moment, one that I'm sure Miss Murray will treasure forever. And I would just venture to say that a text message followed by a sad face emoji and a hug emoji would not have been quite the same. Your thumbs may be fast, but they got nothing on your face. So use your face to communicate as often as you can. Number 2, surround yourself with healthy people. A couple years ago, I was talking with a student. She was a senior at the time, and I remarked to her that over the last couple of years, she hadn't been in my office nearly as often as she used to be. And as a younger student, she was a frequent flyer, as we say. I congratulated her and asked her what had changed, and she said, I changed who I hang out with. And that made all the difference. And it's really quite simple. If you want drama, hang around dramatic people. If you want to be angry and hateful, hang around angry, hateful people. But if you want to be healthy, if you want to be happy, confident, self-assured, then hang around healthy people. And number 3, get out of the echo chamber of your own ideas. It has become incredibly easy to avoid exposure to ideas you don't agree with. In fact, Facebook has designed an algorithm that ensures that your news feed will only give you things that you are most likely to read. And it turns out that the things that you are most likely to read are the things that you agree with. And what that means is the more you read what you already agree with, the more of it you will be given, whether it's real or fake. And the result is your own opinions being reinforced over and over again in your very own echo chamber. This goes back to the problem of not being able to hear each other's voices. We have to get better at listening to dissenting views. I have an ongoing dialogue with George Nolette, one of our custodians. George and I disagree politically, but because George is a good listener, has an excellent vocabulary, and has an open mind, it's easy for us to talk, to exchange ideas, and to enjoy each other's company. Or at least I enjoy his. I can't really speak for him. So speak to people you disagree with. Listen to music that you normally stay away from. Take Mr. Doros' advice and watch an old movie in black and white. Read a book, any book, will be fine. And open your mind and then expand it by exposing it to something new and different. So that's it. Communicate with your face, surround yourself with healthy people, and get out of the echo chamber of your own opinions. 3 things that we can all do to move forward in a positive way. So good luck out there, and don't forget to be awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. At this time, please join me in welcoming our next speaker, the Chair of the North Brookfield School Committee, Ms. Michelle Thayer.
Thank you. I'll apologize in advance. I'm not really prepared. First of all, congratulations, class of 2017. I see a lot of faces that I used to have on the bus. And I kept it short, so don't worry. You have made it through the longest, most labor-intensive task set before you thus far in your life. Kindergarten through senior year to graduation, and whether you did it with strong supports and guidance, or you floundered alone toward the mystical goal of a diploma, you have done it. There are countless tasks still ahead of you. Some will be accomplished in short order, and others will take years of focus and dedication to accomplish. But remember this, you have done this thing, this graduation from high school, this accomplishment that so many will never know. 13 years from K to 12, and you did it. For 13 years, you have been rigidly guided by what the world wanted you to know, trying to pack all this information into your head within a certain amount of time. Now begins the fun stuff. Exploring your own interests, experimenting with the world around you, testing your own true strengths and passions. But make no mistake, your time is limited. Don't waste time being bored or doing things that keep you from moving forward. With each new decision, each new experience, ask yourself if it is getting you any closer to where you want to be. Some of you know, even today, where you want to go and what you want to do, but many of you have no plan or passion for what is to come. I encourage you to take this time to educate yourselves and find your passion if you haven't yet. Explore your options. Even if you don't think that you have options, I promise you do. I promise that there are opportunities out there that no one has ever told you about and that you have never considered. But you aren't going to find them binge watching Netflix or gaming till 2 a.m. I will not tell you that working hard will get you where you want to be, because sometimes it just doesn't. But working toward what you want will definitely get you a lot closer than giving up before you start. Everything that you have ever wanted is out there. Don't waste your time waiting for someone else to bring it to you. Figure out what steps you need to take, and then just take a deep breath and take them. Good luck.
We will now be presenting graduation awards and scholarships. For the presentation of the awards and scholarships, please welcome Ms. Caitlin Malone, co-advisor for the class of 2017, and Mr. Evans.
All right, so at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to commence with the awards by publicly citing and presenting medallions to our top 4 academically ranked seniors. Our 4 top scholars have achieved academic distinction over the past 4 years. In order of rank, they are number 4, Caitlin Burnham. Number 3, Rachel Orsi. Our salutatorian, Tori Zalauskas. We didn't get to rehearse this part. Pretty impressive. And the class valedictorian, Amelia Jordan. Our first award is the American Legion Auxiliary Unit Number 41 Citizenship Award. This award goes to the girl from the graduating class who best illustrates such outstanding qualities as courage, citizenship, companionship, character, service, and scholarship. The award consists of a check for $300 and a pin. This selection is made by the faculty, and their choice this year is Rachel Orsi. The American Legion Citizenship Award is presented to the boy from the graduating class who best illustrates such outstanding qualities as courage, companionship, character, service, and scholarship. This award consists of a check for $200, a certificate, and a medal. The selection is made by the faculty, and their choice this year is David Rumpf. Crowley Fuel Company is pleased to recognize the accomplishments of a deserving graduate by presenting an award in the amount of $200. This year's recipient is Kellen Nye. The DAR Good Citizenship Award is an annual honor which provides for the selection of a boy or a girl of outstanding character from the senior class. The winner was selected last March. The selection is based on such qualities as character, patriotism, citizenship, scholarship, and leadership. This award includes a certificate. The recipient this year is Rachel Orsi. The next award is the Thomas J. Emery Memorial Award for Technical Education. Tom Emery is warmly remembered as a fine young man who demonstrated great interest and considerable skill in the fields of industrial arts and drafting. To perpetuate his memory, the Thomas J. Emery Award is presented to an outstanding senior who had excelled in that department and who has demonstrated skill, a willingness to learn, and a spirit of cooperation. The award is a cash grant of $250 and is presented this year to Kevin Ferrand. The family of Robert Lane has established an award in his memory. Rob was a dedicated, long-term employee of the North Brookfield schools. This award recognizes a senior who exhibits the qualities of good citizenship, helpfulness, and congeniality, and who is sports-oriented. This student has always played the game of life fairly and by the rules. Rob himself played the game well and by the rules, and we will remember him for his loyalty, kindness, and quiet courage to the very end. The recipient of this year's $500 Robert O. Lane Jr. Better Sportsmanship Award is William Mandela. The Random Act of Kindness Award goes to the individual that has consistently demonstrated kindness towards others, has always lent a helping hand and an ear to listen. You are making the world a better place one person at a time, and we thank you. Please use this award to pamper yourself as you have pampered others. I love that line. The recipient of this year's $250 award is Abigail Gershman. I suppose tuition is considered pampering yourself. The North Brookfield Playground Committee has established an award to recognize graduates who have best served the town's youth programs by officiating, coaching, keeping score, or assisting in other various ways. I am pleased to be able to present the North Brookfield Playground Committee Award today in the amount of $150 to Rachel Orsi. And we now come to the awarding of our scholarships. This year, as always, our seniors have had the opportunity to apply for a variety of scholarships available to North Brookfield High School graduates. After careful consideration, the recipients have been chosen by various selection committees, and I'm authorized to make the following scholarship awards on behalf of the sponsors. We begin our presentations with the American Legion Sawyer Matthew Kearns Post Number 41 Scholarship in the amount of $500. This year's recipient is Catherine Buzzle. The Dr. Julius C. Batalis Memorial Scholarship pays tribute to a dedicated educator. Dr. Batalis spent 35 years as a teacher and school administrator, including 6 years, 1977 through 1983, as principal of North Brookfield High School. His 3 children are graduates of North Brookfield High School. This year's Dr. Julius C. Batalis Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $300 is presented to Alexis Canoyer. The Oscar and Mirabelle Boucher Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $100 is awarded annually to the 3rd-ranked member of the graduating class. This year's recipient is Rachel Orsi. On behalf of the Scholastic Awards Committee of the Lions Club of the Brookfields, we are pleased to present 2 scholarships in the amount of $250 each to Christopher Kendrick and Adam Shays. Eleanor Allen DePel, a teacher in the North Brookfield school system for 10 years, is fondly remembered by her family and friends through the Eleanor Allen DePel Memorial Scholarship. This year, there is 1 scholarship being given in the amount of $1,000. This scholarship is presented to Tori Zalauskas. Sometimes innocent and promising young lives are taken away from us in the blink of an eye, perhaps in fulfillment of a purpose beyond our understanding. It is fitting that we memorialize such a young life in a manner which will help another to go forward. Thus, a caring community has created the Sarah J. Coffey Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $400. It is my honor to present this scholarship to Caitlin Burnham. Next, we have the North Brookfield High School Class of 1958 Scholarship. Anybody out there from 58? Thank you. This year, the amount of this scholarship is $300, and the recipient is Rachel Orsi. Each year, the Country Auto Body Athletic Scholarship Fund presents $200 each to a senior boy and a senior girl who ranked in the upper 50% of their class and plan to further their education at a 2- or 4-year college or university. This year's recipients are Rachel Orsi and David Rumpf. Given in memory of a member of the class of 1973 who was killed in an automobile crash following the celebrations the night after her graduation, we have the Wendy Cuthbert Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $100. It is hoped by her classmates, family, and friends that in remembering Wendy, such a tragedy might never happen again. The recipient this year is Jacob Goudreau. Our next award is the Daughters of Isabella North Brookfield Circle number 354 Scholarship in the amount of $100. This year's recipient is Christopher Kendrick. Sponsored by the North Brookfield Police Association, the Stephen Kearns Memorial Scholarship commemorates Steve's sacrifice through 2 scholarships in the amount of $500 each. The recipients this year are Rachel Orsi and David Rumpf. Robert Drasik was a lifelong resident of North Brookfield, was a member of the class of 1959. Robert was a dedicated school teacher and mentor who loved the town and the people of North Brookfield. In his memory, his daughter, Lori, has created the Robert S. Drasik Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $400. This year's recipient is Rachel Orsi. We now have the Theodore P. and Stella M. Drasik Memorial Scholarship. Both longtime residents of North Brookfield, Mr. Drasik was a land surveyor, and Ms. Drasik was a dedicated and loving domestic engineer. That's another great line. The Drazek Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $400 is awarded to Travis Fuller. The North Brookfield Youth Soccer League sponsors a scholarship in the amount of $325 in memory of Ray Flamond, who was a driving force for youth athletics in North Brookfield, particularly soccer. This year's recipient of the Raymond Flamond Memorial Scholarship is Tori Zalauskas. Over 34 years ago, when the class of 1977 tragically lost their class president, Paul Fortin Jr., his parents, the late Eleanor and Paul Fortin Sr., set up the Paul J. Fortin Jr. Memorial Scholarship and wanted it to be awarded to the graduating class president each year. The recipient of this award in the amount of $140 is the president of our current graduating class, Ms. Caitlin Burnham. The Heart to Heart Foundation was founded in 1998 by local resident Richard J. Fisk Sr., whose goal was to help as many children with a life-threatening illness as he possibly could. Together with his two sons, David and Richard Jr., Mr. Fisk is always looking for ways to help the children of his community. In this regard, they have established the Heart to Heart Foundation Scholarship in the amount of $300. This year's recipient is Madison Budney. Established under the will of the late Rose M. Rondeau is the scholarship known as the Ellen, Mary, and Catherine Griffin Scholarship. The recipient is the female of the current graduating class who has attained the highest scholastic average throughout her 4 years in attendance at North Brookfield High School. This award this year in the amount of $4,200 goes to Amelia Jordan. Steve Kearns and Arvid Silverberg made the supreme sacrifice in Vietnam and are remembered with the Stephen Kearns and Arvid O. Silverberg Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $100. The recipient this year is William Mandela. Martin D. Leach Sr. devoted most of his adult life to the service of the people, particularly the youth of North Brookfield. Over a period of some 40 years, he served as superintendent of schools, principal, selectman, and founder of a wide variety of youth sports programs. He is fondly remembered with gratitude and respect. We honor his memory with the Martin D. Leach Sr. Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $200 presented this year to the class salutatorian. Today's recipient is Tori Zalauskas. Martha Ledoux Leach was a lifelong resident of North Brookfield and a 1957 graduate of North Brookfield High School's business department. I guess we had one of those. Martha was always proud of the preparation and skills she received here and remained throughout her life a staunch supporter of youth activities and education in North Brookfield. We honor her memory today through the Martha G. Leach Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $300. The recipient is the outstanding business technology student in the current graduating class, Amelia Jordan. The Ann Carey Murphy Memorial Scholarship honors the memory of English teacher, English department head, and his assistant principal, Ann Carey Murphy. I guess we used to have those too. This year's scholarship is in the amount of $2,500, is awarded to Alexis Cournoyer. Robert Martinelli was a 2001 graduate of North Brookfield High School who was tragically killed on September 8, 2002 at the very young age of 19. Rob loved the outdoors. He did everything from being captain of the golf team while at North Brookfield High School to bow and flintlock hunting. One of Rob's most outstanding accomplishments was to receive the Eagle Scout badge. At the time of his death, he was a sophomore at Worcester State College, majoring in criminal justice. In his memory, the Rob Martinelli Scholarship was established and is awarded today to the following two recipients in the amount of $500 each, William Mandela and Adrian Aponte. And at this time, I'd like to invite Ms. Caroline Kai to the stage to help present the North Brookfield High School Alumni Association Awards. Thanks to the generosity of fellow graduates, the North Brookfield High School Alumni Association is extremely pleased to be able to present 4 scholarships of $1,500 each. The recipients are Caitlin Burnham, Amelia Jordan, Krista Paquette, and Tori Zalauskas. Thank you, Ms. Kai. The North Brookfield High School Student Council is pleased to award 2 scholarships today of $100 each. Recipients of this award are Rachel Orsi and Megan Jolin. The American Red Cross High School Scholarship is awarded to graduating seniors who have been active participants in their school's blood drives. The American Red Cross is pleased to award the following students with a $250 scholarship: Rachel Orsi and Caitlin Burnham. Today, the North Brookfield Council number 2381 of the Knights of Columbus is pleased to present 2 scholarships in the amount of $500 each to William Mandela and Madison Budney. The North Brookfield PTO Scholarship Award is based upon volunteerism and community service. The recipient of this year's award has shown their spirit of volunteerism and community service throughout their community. The North Brookfield PTO Scholarship in the amount of $500 is being awarded to Madison Budney. The North Brookfield Youth Soccer League sponsors a scholarship in the amount of $325 in memory of John Hart, a longtime volunteer, board member, and coach for North Brookfield Youth Soccer. This year's recipient of the John Hart Memorial Scholarship is Rachel Orsi. The North Brookfield Sports Booster Club is sponsoring 2 scholarships of $250 each, honoring 2 students from the graduating class who have volunteered their time and sports ability to any related sports program during their senior year. This year's recipients of the North Brookfield Sports Booster Club Scholarship are Rachel Orsi and Adrian Aponte. Each year, North Brookfield Savings Bank awards a scholarship in the amount of $1,000. This year's recipient is Catherine Buzzle. Our next scholarship in the amount of $500 is sponsored by the North Brookfield Teachers Association. They are pleased to award this scholarship to Kimberly O'Brien. The Quabar Corporation, or Vibram, generally provides 2 fellowships each year in the amount of $2,000 each. Students whose four-year cumulative average places them in the top 10 students of their class are eligible for these awards, which are renewable for each of the 4 years of college. On behalf of the Quabog Vibram Corporation, I am pleased to present these awards to Amelia Jordan and Tori Zalauskas. Quabog Vibram Corporation also provides a scholarship of $2,000 to the valedictorian of the current graduating class. This year's recipient of the Quabog Vibram Corporation scholarship is Amelia Jordan. The Strong on Sports Fund sponsors 2 scholarships of $300 each based on athletic ability, academic achievement, school spirit, character, and attendance. This year's recipients are Rachel Orsi and David Rumpf. The Dr. Leo Garrigan Rondo Scholarship was established under the will of the late Rose M. Rondo. The recipient is the male graduate of North Brookfield High School who has attained the highest scholastic average through his 4 years of attendance at North Brookfield High School and plans to attend a school of higher education. The Dr. Leo Garrigan Rondo Scholar, receiving $4,200, is David Rumpf. Phyllis Demazian endeared herself to many as a gentle person who exemplified the value of compassion, a positive outlook, and support for young people. She would be pleased that her family and friends honor her memory by giving assistance to a promising young person. In that spirit, I am pleased to present the Phyllis Demazian Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $300 to Adam Shays. We are pleased to remember Norman H. Walker and his contributions to the community, and particularly to scouting. He continues to serve the community and to help young people through his estate and the Norman H. Walker Memorial Scholarship. It is a distinct pleasure to present these 3 scholarships today in the amount of $1,000 each to Caitlin Burnham, Rachel Orsi, and Abigail Gershman. Julianne Caron was a member of the class of 2007 who tragically lost her life in a car accident just weeks before graduation. At the young age of 18, Julianne accomplished many great things and touched the lives of a countless number of people with her infectious smile, her caring and understanding personality, and her compassion for others. Julianne loved to participate in a great many activities. She was involved with the youth of the town as a CCD teacher and as a teacher's aide in the elementary school. One of her proudest moments was not only celebrating her 18th birthday, playing her favorite game of basketball, but also becoming the 18th person in North Brookfield's history to score 1,000 points in a career that same night. It is undeniable that Julianne would have thrived with the challenges of college. To honor Julianne's memory as the person she was and dreamed to be, and to help support others entering the field of her choice, health services, I am pleased to present 2 Julianne Caron's Memorial Scholarships in the amount of $1,000 each to Rachel Orsi and Abigail Gershman. The state of Massachusetts is once again awarding the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship. Recipients qualify for this by scoring advanced in either the English language arts, mathematics, or science portion of the 10th grade MCAS test, and proficient or advanced in the other options. Student score must also be in the top 25% of students in the district. Recipients receive a 4-year tuition waiver to state colleges and universities. 8 North Brookfield High School seniors are recipients of the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship this year. Would the following students please stand as your names are called? Caitlin Burnham, Kristen Foote, Daniel Gale, Jacob Goudreau, Amelia Jordan, Kellen Nye, Rachel Orsi, and Tori Zalauskas. The North Brookfield High School chapter of the National Honor Society is proud to present this scholarship in the amount of $300 to Caitlin Burnham. The Ruth Converse Memorial Scholarship is given in memory of Ruth Converse. This year there are 3 recipients, each receiving an award of $1,000. The 3 recipients are Caitlin Burnham, Krista Paquette, and Madison Budney. Today we have made presentations totaling $93,325. Yeah. Which includes the approximately $36,835 given by the state of Massachusetts to the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship recipients. This figure does not include any awards our graduates may be receiving from various post-secondary institutions. This is a most welcome and encouraging demonstration of support for our young people and a genuine tribute to the memory of those for whom many awards are named. We are most fortunate to receive such outstanding support from the various donors who have provided these awards. On behalf of North Brookfield High School and the class of 2017, I extend our deepest appreciation to all who have made these awards possible. Thank you.
Congratulations to all the scholarship and award recipients. And now to offer congratulatory remarks and the certification of the graduates, please welcome the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Marilyn Tenza.
Good afternoon. Well, it's the time in the ceremony where I'm the only thing that's standing in the way of you and your diploma, so I won't be too long. I just want to take the time to congratulate you. Thank your parents, your guardians and families, the teachers and staff of North Brookfield Public Schools for entrusting us with the education of their children. We wish you all success in whatever you choose to do. Tomorrow, you will refer to your high school experience as a phase in your life, in the past. May you remember it is a happy time, a time when you learn who you are and what you believe. You will take that with you wherever you go. Always have North Brookfield in your hearts. Congratulations. So as the superintendent of the North Brookfield Public Schools, I certify that these seniors have met all the requirements set forth by the North Brookfield Public Schools and the state of Massachusetts. By the power vested in me, I hereby declare the class of 2017 to be graduates of the North Brookfield Junior Senior High School.
Mr. Evans, Dr. Tenza, and Ms. Thayer will now present the diplomas to the graduates. Ms. Malone will read the names of the graduates, assisted by the high school guidance counselor, Mr. Dave Hackinson.
Amelia Marie Jordan. Tori Elizabeth Zalaskis. Rachel Jean Ann Orsi. Alexis Leah Canoyer. Catherine Rose Buzzle. Madison Lee Budney. Adrian Aponte. Abigail Lynn Foyle. Kevin Michael Ferrand. Kristen Juliana Foote. Cora Lynn Desplains. Francesca DeFaudes. Christopher David Kendrick. Jacob Michael Goodrow. Abigail Ann Gershman. Daniel R. Gale Jr. Travis David Fuller. Caitlin Barbara Burnham. Megan Joan Jolin. Chloe May Lalashis. William S. Mandala. Kristen Brianna Muzzerall. Kellen Elizabeth Nye. Kimberly Lynn O'Brien. Krista Marie Paquette. Daniel Juan Perez. David Stephen Rumpf, Jr. Cameron Thomas Rizecki. Rebecca Lynn Russin. Alexis Mackenzie Schofield. Adam Matthew Shays. Terrell B. Smith.
All right, now we're going to beat the rain. Class President Burnham will lead the class in the flipping of the tassels. Marshals, if you would raise the graduates. Yep. Okay, you guys can start gathering your things here. This concludes our ceremony. Anyone looking at the radar? Is it raining out? Oh, wait. I'm assuming that it is. Oh, that's even better. We're good. Thank you, Kevin. We got thumbs up from Mr. McNeil, who looked outside. So what we're going to do is, after exiting, the graduates will form a receiving line on the walkway outside in front of the high school. I invite you to come congratulate them, and when we are all ready with that, you can take pictures of them as they throw their caps into the air. At this time, please join me in saluting our graduates as they exit the auditorium to our school song, Mingle Your Cheers.